Hey guys, Aaron from Celluloco.com here, and I have to say it's nice to be back in the saddle after CES. You know, saddle, chair, whatever you want to call it. It's nice to be back and not sitting on the hotel floor in the Venetian. You know, it's just not as comfortable. I like my leather chair. Anyway, I'm here with the Dell Venue Pro today. It's one of many Windows Phone 7 devices that were announced in November of last year. So the industry's full of Windows Phone 7 devices. There are several on each carrier. Does the Dell Venue Pro really make a wave as the last of the initial launch devices? We'll find out in the review. Special thanks to our friends at Best Buy Mobile. They've hooked us up with two of these so we can give them away to you in our One Paw Bandit game. At Best Buy Mobile, you walk out working. You don't have to set up your email on your own. You don't have to set up the web. They'll do it for you. Let's jump into the review. Dell Venue Pro review starts right now. So here's the phone application. You can see the buttons are nice and large thanks to the 4.1-inch display. You can see the buttons are pretty easy to dial, and then it has this nice little transition effect. Let me see if I can get it close enough to where you see. When I dial 8, the button kind of shifts to the side on the side that I've pressed, and then comes back. So pretty cool there. It's one of those things if you're really paying attention, mostly if you're one of the big cell phone nerds like me, you'll notice that. But again, it goes back to what I was saying a second ago. The transition effects and overall design elements on this device are fantastic. Let's go into the menu and see what else we can find. Let's take a look at the calendar, and actually, again, you know, playing to the theme of Windows Phone 7, it's very simple, very easy to use. You have your agenda and your day mode on both sides. You can see your day and then your agenda. Let's add an appointment. Let's go. What do we want to do? So since I'm on a big building a snowman kick, we'll go build a snowman. You know, I don't get off work till around 11. So let's say 11 o'clock p.m. we're going to build a snowman. We'll build him for about an hour. That seem fair? Yeah, that seems fair. So we'll build the snowman for an hour. We'll hit save. You'll notice that it's in the day, and then you go to agenda. You can see it's there. Now, one of the nice features, when you come back here, you can see that building a snowman is on the calendar tile. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. With the messaging tile, I could see a need for that, where it'll pop up and show you recent messages. Same thing with Google Mail. Could at least show you a preview of who it's coming from. And then not just that, but when you turn it off and back on, you can see building a snowman, which is the next appointment in line, appears right there on the main display. So, it's a nice feature, though I wish that they would extend it to some of the other things on the device. Now, one place this phone just really flies, and it's a Windows Phone 7 thing. It's not really just the Venue Pro. When you go on the web, absolutely fantastic experience. Granted, it's not running Flash, but the pinch to zoom capabilities are absolutely fantastic on this unit. So it's not even loaded yet, but you can see, look at the pinch to zoom speed on that. It's absolutely fantastic. You can see, again, our advertisements aren't loading. Nothing's loading because it's not Flash, but you can see very easy. Pinch to zoom is wonderful, and of course the transition effects are great as well. And pinch to zoom is also enabled. Sorry, I got sidetracked reading the MyTouch 3G slide froyo delay. That's no good. It's kind of right up there with the Samsung Galaxy S owners. I feel your pain. But you can see pinch to zoom is good on that device. And then let me jump back into that because I did miss something. You see the icons on the bottom, and we can pretty much deduce that these are favorites because of the stars. But let's say we don't know what that is. It's a button. Instead of clicking on it, we can click the expand button and see that it's tabs, and then you get your additional options. But close it down, consolidate a little bit, and then you can open up a new tab. So if we want to go to CNN for the latest news, we can do that. While we're waiting for it to load, we can pop back over to Phone Dog, and then we can add it to our favorites pretty easily. So again, it's just across the board. It's a very fluid interface, very easy experience, and especially one of those ones where I think, okay, if somebody was coming to smartphone for the first time, it's not bad at all. Let's take a look at the marketplace. This is one Achilles heel of the Windows Phone 7 devices. The marketplace for a first version or for a version 1 device isn't bad at all. You do get quite a few apps. I think they're growing. I think they're past 5,000 now, if I recall. But you do have a couple different application options. Your top, your new, your free. Group it by categories, for example. But where it gets frustrating, let's say you're in applications right now, and let's say I want to search for Twitter. So I search for Twitter, and I hit enter. You'll see, brings up everything in the marketplace that's related to Twitter. Now, because I was in applications, it brought up the application first, which is nice. It's nice that it's bringing up the applications first. If you're coming into the search from the main part of the marketplace, it brings up everything in just kind of a messy jumble. You know, music everywhere, and then the application's usually 6 or 7 down in the list. But you can see just here in the marketplace search, there's no defining music search, you know, app search, anything like that. It's all kind of jumbled together in a big mess. Typical version 1.0 thing, right along with copy and paste, but still kind of frustrated me when I was looking for applications. But you do get quite a few options in the market. You can see, let's go to one just to download. Let's download. Let's see. Let's go to news and weather. I'm a big news junkie, so let's go to free. And you can see what it looks, just to get an idea of what it looks like. I know nothing about sports, but we're gonna download NBA Scores Lite. You can see what it looks like here. It's free. The ratings, 4 stars. The screenshots, then of course the reviews and some related programs. So we'll install. I'm gonna go back to this device at like 11 o'clock tomorrow morning and be like, why did I install NBA? Let's see here. Okay, so that is downloading. You can see the status bar there. Downloading, 100% downloaded. And we can either share it or we can jump back. And you can see that it now appears there. And of course I can pin it, I can uninstall it, I can also pin it to the start and bring it back up into that empty space. See what I just did there? See what I just did? I filled that empty space. I was far more excited about that than I think anybody else. So here we are in the Maps application. You can see where I'm at, but let's scroll up to Canada and take a look at, Ontario, for example. You can see some of the different places. Up there you can see Winnipeg, Manitoba. And you can see Vancouver, British Columbia in just a second. There's British Columbia. So you get a nice Maps application, and honestly for a first version of an OS, it's pretty decent. So as you know, John Q is up in Canada. I think it'd be cool. I don't know which province he's in, but it would definitely be cool to hang out with him because he's Canadian and he says things like a boot and processor instead of processor. So definitely want to hang out with him sometime. So you look at the search app, and they've done a good job with this as well. You see it locates where I'm at, Concord, just outside of Charlotte. At the moment, you can see being in this picture changes depending on the day. So pretty cool touch. You can do it by voice, or you can search for coffee and search for it that way. Now, while that's happening, I'm going to bring in a picture. You can see it brings up some Starbucks coffee type things within 5 or 10 miles of where I'm at. You have those. You have Dilworth Coffee, Highland Creek, for example. Then you have Starbucks, Summit Coffee, Rocky River Coffee. So a lot of different places that are 5 or 10 miles away from me that have fantastic coffee. So you have that, and that's a cool feature. The search is pretty good. Let's take a look at the camera, and I'm going to use a picture of a horse that I drew as a test to see what the camera is like here. And we'll see with the yellow background and the black pen how well it actually works. So let's zoom in here. And granted, there's a lot of light on this picture right now, but I'll use the button on the side. Half press to autofocus. Full press to take a picture. And I have to say, for a 5 megapixel camera, that's a pretty darn good picture. You can see the text outline there. And then when we go back, I wrote text at the top just so we can get an idea of what exactly text looks like. And again, 5 megapixel camera, surprisingly decent picture quality, and it does have that flash for those times that you want to use it. Settings include a couple of different things: photo resolution, ISO gain, white balance, scene mode, and then you have the ability to turn the flash on and off or set it to auto. So, again, it's not the most advanced device in the world, but it definitely is something to consider. Very cool on the camera front. Of course, you can do video as well, and you can access that by going back to the camera. See what I just did with that transition there? I couldn't remember, and then I was like, oh yeah, by going back to the camera and hitting video and then recording from there. So if you wanted to record a picture of the horse, you could do it. That's it for the Dell Venue Pro. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for continuing coverage of this device and much more on the site. And be sure to follow us or like us on Facebook, rather. It's 7 days left until we give away the first round of iPads in our 100 iPad and tablet giveaway. You get your choice between an Apple iPad, a BlackBerry Playbook, or a Samsung Galaxy Tab. So be sure to check out my video on YouTube of what you could do with a Samsung Galaxy Tab. Head over to Facebook.com/PhoneDog, like us, get in your sweepstakes forms, and you're entered to win. It takes about 10 minutes, and you can win an iPad. The chances are very high. Be sure to follow me on Twitter as well, phonedog_Aaron, with any questions, comments, advice, anything you want to ask me, tell me, whatever, let me know, phonedog_Aaron. Thanks so much for watching. Much more coverage to come on phonedog.com. We'll see you next time.